Matthew is our oldest. He's the oldest of our 5. We have 3 boys, 2 girls.
He's always been all boy and just been a great leader for our younger kids. And he has everything he wants to buy on above his bed. And so at night he looks at it and he has dates written by it. He's bought his own $300 baseball glove. He's bought his own bow. We bow hunt together. He gets up every morning before middle school and he hits, we have a net and tee set up in our basement, and he hits off of that. He was doing weight training at school. He was in PE at school. He was doing baseball practice. And what we didn't know, it was wearing his arm out. He's right-handed, and he was wearing his right arm out. We're at his brother's baseball practice, and he and I went off to the side to throw a baseball. We're maybe 15 feet apart, and he lobbed it to me. And it was really cold. He lobbed it to me, and he said, He said, God, something hurts my elbow. Like, okay. I said, well, just lightly throw it to me again. And he did. And he said, oh my gosh, that really hurts my elbow. And I knew that was not a good sign. Next day, we booked sort of an emergency appointment with a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon. They took an x-ray of his right arm. They came back in with 30 minutes later and said, we need an x-ray of his other arm. And I said, really, what for? And they said, we just needed to compare it. And the feeling in my stomach started kind of getting sick. So they took the second x-ray, they came back in, they put him up side by side, and it's noticeable that in his right elbow, it looks like mush right above the turn of his elbow, and the other one, it's solid. We get these x-rays done. They say, we need you to come back Monday for an MRI. Sunday night, we go back to the pastor's house, and he tells them what's going on. And the pastor asked Matthew to come sit down, and they asked our kids to circle around Matthew and put their hands on Matthew. And there's no smoke, there's no lightning bolts. Next day we get back, we take him in for an MRI, follow up a day or two later for the reading. And the doctor comes back in and says, I don't really know how to explain this, but his arm is completely fine. Part of me was like, there's no way. I saw the x-ray myself. Y'all wouldn't explain it to me, but I knew something bad was wrong. And I did tell him, I said, what do you mean it's okay? He said, literally, there's nothing wrong with his arm. And I said, what did the x-ray indicate? And he said the x-ray indicated the tendon had detached from the back of his elbow from his growth plate, and that we were gonna have to have surgery, screw it to the backside of his elbow. And I said, okay, well, what about therapy? He said, there's nothing wrong for him to have therapy for. He and I walked out half grinning, half, is this real? Half waiting for them to call us back and say, we read the wrong MRI. But it wasn't. When I look back over it, it seems like sometimes God has to have things so bad that he's got to prove it to us that he's going to heal it, like with that x-ray. As far as it goes with, is God real? Can he, does he, will he perform miracles? The answer is yes. Yes, from firsthand experience. If you're questioning, does God even really exist? He wants to prove himself to you. He made you to be able to have a relationship with you.